Welcome back, sports fans, to another episode of Ugly Thirds. Today's topic is Reverse Retrospective Buffalo Sabres 1.0. Shrems and John, take it away.
So in these, we're looking at the reverse retro.
Yep.
But I think the more important thing, and what I haven't seen a lot of, is looking at what they're reverse retroing to.
Right. And we did Boston to start this whole series, and we ultimately came up with that they did it well because it's a true reverse retro.
Yes.
Now, we were talking beforehand, this here, when we do this one, is not a good one.
No, I'm going to need a couple of jerseys for that I don't own yet.
It doesn't reverse retro to anything in particular. In fact, two jerseys that we've meshed together. I think you call it a faux back.
It would be a faux back then, FAUX.
I don't know. But with the Sabres, and admittedly, because I am from there, I was looking forward to the goat head very much in 2020. And I understand in hindsight now why they didn't do it, but I wasn't expecting butter knives, and I got butter knives, and I can't say I was pleased, but I wasn't disappointed, because what else are they throwing back to? Because it ain't going to be Buffaslug.
Look, I got thoughts on this, but I like these. When I was a kid, I liked these jerseys best, honestly. I know I was definitely in a minority on that, but I thought, like, it's emphasis on Sabres, not Buffalo, right? The goat head logo is Buffalo. There were no Sabres then. I never actually remembered this happening until I saw one in person. This I could do without.
Yeah.
But this logo, I like, especially considering that the other logo is just a buffalo head, right? It's just the goat head logo.
Yep.
You know, this is Buffalo. The team's not Buffalo. They're not the Buffalo.
Yeah.
Though I would love to see a team that's just Buffalo, or perhaps Phoenix. That's both, right? Because a Phoenix is also a noun. But it's not. So I'm like, okay, finally, this is the logo that says they're Sabres. That's the team name.
Yep.
So I liked this. I had nothing against it. This I could do with it. Like I said, I didn't even remember that existed until I saw it much later. This plunging neckline is interesting. That's different. But other than that, I liked it. I thought these were fun.
It was a good period piece. Like that. Yeah. That is what the early 2000s were all about.
And really, a lot of this, I think this is actually classier than, because like those stripes of the Sabres goat head jersey are very aggressive, and this isn't. This is much more classic.
Yeah.
And so I had nothing against this.
It's fine.
As a jersey, I rather like this. If I saw this in a minor league team, I would have been like, fine, that's a good logo. It's a good team, you know. So as far as is it a good jersey? I think it's fine.
Yeah, and the idea of throwing back to it kind of threw me off, because if you're not from that time period, there's a chance that you forget about this one a little bit because of the goat head.
That might be the purpose of what they really wanted with the reverse, digging some of those out.
It's not what I was expecting them to do. But like I said, in hindsight, knowing that they were going to roll back the to those original blue and golds a couple years later, using the goat head then kind of made sense to me, because we have that third now. We're back to that goat head third, and it's going over so well. Like it is really being embraced again. So I understand.
It was a trendsetter then. It's a trendsetter again.
It is, and I understand now why they didn't do that right away, because they had to have known in 2020, 2021 that they're going to go back to the goat heads. Like, those things take years to design, so they had the inkling that it was going to happen. Is this a good reverse retro? Is this set out and intended to do what it's supposed to do?
Well, considering that this is largely forgotten, considering that these are quite pricey, I got lucky on this, and I think condition is part of it. And it's not bad condition, but it's, you can see how it's been folded. It's been folded weird, probably for a very long time.
Yeah.
You hit a jersey that is exactly what you want as far as resurrecting it. And I think it's a 1-to-1 flip.
It is.
I mean, okay, so there's the collar is different. It's an proper Adidas collar.
Yep.
These stripes are a bit chunkier, and they're moved down the sleeves a bit, but not enough to be significant.
No.
Only side by side do you see it.
All the original elements are there.
Everything is there, except it's flipped in new colors. If it was blue, I would have bought it right away. White jerseys, they don't last as long. I don't think they look as like. I know you feel the opposite on whites, but I I think it's great. I think there's nothing wrong with this jersey. I think it's a great reverse retro.
They got the reverse retro aspect of it right. They sure did. And I don't think Buffalo has that dynamic range that other teams do, to where you can throw it back to like a fisherman and people go nuts for it. And you know, they had the slug years, and those were not well received.
As if I were to do anything unique, I'd take the original jersey and put it in black, red, and silver.
It'd be fun.
The original logo, right, and do it that. But I
That'd be
mean, that
fun.
might also be. Phil, have we covered everything we're supposed to?
You covered how's the original, how's the new one look, and you guys
So then-
kind of covered does it make a good reverse
So
retro?
objectively, is this a good jersey? If this wasn't a reverse retro, if this was just there, what do you think?
In today's time, no.
Okay.
I would say it is very indicative of the period, which is fine. 23 years ago was a very different time period. But this down here always bugged me, and it always will. Like
That's your deal breaker.
I don't think this could easily be a shoulder patch, and
It probably should be.
Probably should be. But they needed something different at the time. I understand it during the time period. The idea of a third jersey, you were white, you were black, and now you have a little splash of red. It's fine.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, with that, I think it's a pretty good retrospective of this reverse retro.
He said it. He said the word.
So with that, he's Shrems. I'm John. Phil, take us out.
Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button, and tune in for another episode of Ugly Thirds.